Most people believe their lives are built on moments of inspiration, flashes of brilliance, lucky breaks, the sudden stroke of genius that changes everything. But here is the truth. It is not inspiration that transforms a life. It is structure. It is the invisible framework you build around your habits, your thinking, and your time that determines your destiny. A dream without a system is like a seed tossed on concrete. No matter how pure your intentions, without the soil of consistent structure, without the watering of daily discipline, it cannot grow. You must understand this. The greatest architects of success do not wait for motivation. They engineer it. They create an environment where the result they want becomes the only possible outcome. Napoleon Hill wrote, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul." But what most never realize is that the captain is nothing without a navigational chart, without the daily systems that keep the ship on course, no matter the weather. You can have all the vision in the world, but without a repeatable structure, life will pull you off track. Look at the industrialists who built empires: Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. They did not succeed because they woke up and felt inspired each morning. They succeeded because they built systems that multiplied their output. Systems that turned effort into momentum, momentum into mastery, and mastery into legacy. Your first step is to accept that success is not a single act. It is the inevitable consequence of a system that makes failure difficult and progress automatic. If you wake up each day relying on willpower alone, you are gambling with your future. Willpower is a candle in the wind. Systems are the walls that protect it from being blown out. Every transformation begins with clarity, not just on what you want, but on how you will create it daily. What is the exact process that moves you toward your vision? How will you ensure it happens, not occasionally, but every single day, without fail? Let's strip away the romanticism. Without a system, your life will default to chaos. The world will pull at you, distractions will invade, and you will be left wondering why another year has passed without the change you longed for. Think of a train. When it is on the tracks, it moves forward with tremendous force, carrying weight effortlessly. But remove the tracks, and it becomes nothing more than an immovable mass of steel. Your systems are your tracks. They give direction, they remove unnecessary choices, they create the path for unstoppable momentum. This is why the wealthy, the disciplined, the visionaries, they think in terms of processes, not feelings. They do not simply set goals. They design the architecture around those goals so that achievement becomes a byproduct of daily living. But here's where most people fail. They overcomplicate their systems. They create elaborate plans that crumble under the weight of reality. The secret is simplicity. A system must be so clear, so repeatable, so embedded into your life that it survives fatigue, doubt, and distraction. It might be as simple as writing your priorities the night before. It might be scheduling a sacred hour each morning for deep work before the world wakes. It might be a rule that you never end the day without moving one step closer to your most important goal. The complexity is irrelevant. The consistency is everything. Because consistency builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. And until you trust yourself, your dreams will remain locked in theory. Imagine if every dollar you earned was automatically invested before you could spend it. Imagine if your meals were planned so you never had to debate between health and convenience. Imagine if your mornings were so structured that your first thoughts were of purpose, not distraction. These are not fantasies. These are the inevitable results of systems. And here is the truth few will tell you. Once your systems are strong, you no longer have to rely on the fragile fuel of motivation. You will move forward because your life is designed to move forward. The question now is not whether you can change your life. The question is, are you willing to set up the tracks, the guardrails, the invisible architecture that will carry you there, no matter how you feel in the moment? Because the man who waits for the perfect moment is at the mercy of the wind. But the man who builds a system creates his own weather. You must understand this. The mind is a creature of habit. It will follow the path you lay for it, whether that path leads upward toward mastery or downward into mediocrity. If your systems are weak, your life will drift toward the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance never leads to greatness. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because their environment is stronger than their will. The distractions they allow, the people they surround themselves with, the clutter they tolerate, these are silent systems working against them. And yet, they wonder why progress is so hard. If you want to change your life, you must engineer systems that pull you toward success the way gravity pulls a river downhill. Think of this. A pilot doesn't trust the open sky. He trusts the flight plan. He trusts the instruments. He trusts the systems that guide the plane from one point to another, even through the turbulence. Your life is no different. Without a flight plan, you are just floating. So where do you begin? You begin with the cornerstone of all transformation, the decision to remove choice from the things that matter most. The most successful people in history have always understood that choice is energy. Every unnecessary decision you make drains the power you could have spent on your life's mission. Steve Jobs wore the same style of clothing every day not because he lacked taste, but because he understood the truth. The fewer trivial choices you make, the more energy you have for monumental ones. Napoleon Hill himself taught that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Systems are simply definiteness of purpose in motion. If you wake up every day and have to decide whether to exercise, whether to eat clean, whether to focus on your most important work, you will lose more days than you win. The system removes that debate. The system makes the right choice the automatic choice. Now, there's a reason most people resist building systems. They think it will make life rigid, mechanical, lifeless. But in reality, the opposite is true. Systems create freedom. When your mind is not constantly deciding what to do next, it is free to think bigger, dream bolder, and act faster. The artist is free to paint because the canvas and frame already exist. The musician is free to create because the instrument is tuned. The disciplined man is free to live fully because his systems handle what would otherwise drain his energy. But here's the critical thing. Your systems must be tied directly to your vision. A system without purpose is just busy work. You must know where you're going before you design the road to get there. Begin by asking yourself, what is the life I am building? What is the man or woman I must become to live it? Then ask, what are the daily actions, the unbreakable habits, the repeating structures that will sculpt me into that person? Maybe your system is that every evening you spend 30 minutes reflecting and planning the next day. Maybe it's that your phone stays on airplane mode until you've completed 2 hours of focused work. Maybe it's that you measure your progress weekly against a set of clear metrics. No excuses, no hiding. You must make your systems sacred. They are not negotiable. They are the scaffolding on which the cathedral of your life is being built. If you weaken them, the structure collapses. And remember, systems are not only about discipline. They are about alignment. They ensure your energy flows where it matters most. Without them, you can work hard and still go nowhere. You can sweat for years and still remain in the same place, because your effort is scattered instead of concentrated. Greatness is never an accident. It is the inevitable result of a mind disciplined by structure, a vision made real through consistent execution, and a system designed to eliminate every escape route from the path of progress. If you truly want to change your life, stop relying on inspiration, luck, or bursts of willpower. Start building the machinery that will carry you forward day after day, year after year, until success is no longer a question, but a certainty. You cannot build a great life by accident. You cannot hope your way into mastery. The world does not reward wishful thinking. It rewards precision, clarity, and consistent execution. That is why the system you build must not only direct your actions, but shape your very identity. Understand this: your systems are not just things you do. They are things you are. When you embed a system into your life deeply enough, it becomes part of your character. You no longer have to remember to do it. It is simply who you are. The disciplined man does not have to force himself to rise early. He rises because it is in his nature. The prepared woman does not have to scramble at the last minute. Preparation is her way of being. This is where transformation truly happens, when the lines between habit and identity blur until they are the same. That is when you no longer fight with yourself to stay on track, because you and the track have become one. Think of the great warriors, philosophers, and leaders of history. Marcus Aurelius did not wait for the day's battles to decide how he would face them. He lived by a set of principles that acted as his unshakable system. Every decision, every action flowed from that framework. The same is true for the greatest builders of wealth. They had codes they followed, processes they trusted, structures that amplified their efforts. Your system must serve two masters: efficiency and growth. Efficiency ensures you are not wasting time on what does not matter. Growth ensures that over time, your systems evolve to keep pace with the higher version of yourself you are becoming. A system that does not grow with you will one day become a prison. This is why you must revisit your systems regularly. Ask, is this process still leading me toward my vision, or has it become a ritual without meaning? Is it still challenging me, or has it become a comfort zone disguised as discipline? Do not fall in love with a method. Fall in love with the result. Methods are tools. If a tool no longer works, replace it without hesitation. And yet, the danger on the other side is constant reinvention. Some people destroy their own progress because they keep tearing up the tracks to build new ones. Do not confuse boredom with inefficiency. The train does not need a new track every month. It needs to keep moving forward. So here is the balance. Commit to your system long enough to let it bear fruit, but be wise enough to refine it when your growth demands it. The moment you stop adjusting your systems, you stop adjusting your life. Let's bring this down to the daily battlefield, because that is where your future is won or lost. Ask yourself, what are the first 60 minutes of my day designed to do? What are the last 60 minutes before I sleep designed to reinforce? How do I ensure that the most important tasks of my life are done before the world's noise reaches me? These are not casual questions. They are the skeleton key to an entirely different life. If the first hour of your day is consumed by reaction, emails, social media, other people's agendas, then your system is already serving someone else's goals, not yours. Your morning is your launch pad. The system you create for it must protect your mind, set your direction, and fuel your energy. For some, that means exercise. For others, deep work. For others still, meditation, and visualization. The details matter less than the design. The point is that the first hour is intentional, not accidental. And when the day ends, your final hour is not for drowning in distraction. It is for reflection, for learning, for preparing the mind for another day of advancement. This is where you sharpen the blade for tomorrow's battle. A life without systems is a life lived on the defensive. But a life with powerful, intentional systems is a life lived on the attack. You are no longer reacting to events. You are creating them. You are no longer pulled by the tides. You are steering the ship. The man without a system wakes up hoping. The man with a system wakes up knowing. Wealth is not an accident. It is the compound effect of systems designed to channel value into your life over time. The poor think in terms of events, one big break, one winning trade, one lucky opportunity. The wealthy think in terms of pipelines, repeatable processes that produce results again and again, no matter the season. Napoleon Hill wrote that riches begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, and a burning desire for its attainment. But that desire is useless without a delivery mechanism. That mechanism is your system. A wealth system does not begin with money. It begins with the decision to control the flow of money. If every dollar you earn has a destination before it reaches your hand, you have already begun to build a fortune. If you leave it to chance, your money will vanish into the pockets of those who do have systems. Consider the simple, almost boring truth of automatic investing. While most people spend first and save what's left, those with wealth systems save first, invest second, and spend only what remains. It is not glamorous. It does not make headlines. But it works with the patience of a tide carving stone. The same principle applies to your time. Time is your most valuable currency, and without a system for allocating it, the world will steal it piece by piece. Imagine if you scheduled your highest value activity every day at the same time, guarding it as fiercely as a king guards his crown. Imagine if you built an unbreakable rule that no day passes without at least one action that increases your wealth, your skills, or your network. This is the heartbeat of the wealthy. They move from randomness to rhythm, from chaos to compounding. But wealth is only one side of the equation. Without resilience, wealth becomes fragile. The storms of life will come, unexpected losses, failures, betrayals, sudden shifts in the market. Without systems for resilience, even the strongest structure can collapse. Resilient systems are built before they are needed. You do not wait for the flood to start building the dam. You prepare while the skies are clear. For your mind, this means having practices that anchor you. Journaling, physical training, daily affirmations, or a network of mentors and allies who keep you aligned when the winds shift. For your finances, it means having reserves, an emergency fund, multiple income streams, the discipline to live below your means so that no single crisis can destroy you. For your spirit, it means having a philosophy you trust so deeply that it steadies you in chaos. Napoleon Hill called this unwavering faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith that every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And then there is adaptability, the ability to adjust your systems without losing momentum. This is what separates the masters from the rigid. A system that cannot adapt will eventually break. But an adaptable system absorbs the shock, shifts course, and keeps moving toward the destination. Adaptability is not compromise. It is not abandoning your purpose when the road gets hard. It is having the strength to take a different path when the one ahead is blocked, without losing sight of where you are going. The wealthiest, strongest, most unshakable people in history are those who could adapt without losing discipline. Remember, the purpose of a system is not to lock you in a box. It is to give you the structure to reach your vision and the flexibility to keep growing once you arrive. If you design systems for your mind, your money, your habits, and your resilience, you will not merely survive this world, you will bend it to your will. Most will never do this. They will drift, hoping life will change on its own. But you, if you set your systems now, will live by design, not by default. Because systems are not just about doing more. They are about becoming more. And once you become more, the life you desire stops being a dream and becomes the only logical outcome. Every great transformation in history began the same way, with a decision so powerful it left no room for retreat. The decision to live by design, not chance. The decision to stop reacting and start creating. The decision to replace fragile wishes with unshakable systems. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose. Without it, your days scatter like leaves in the wind. With it, every sunrise becomes a command to move forward. But definiteness of purpose alone is like a sword left in its sheath, sharp but unused. Systems are the hands that wield it day after day until mastery is forged. You must stop treating your life as if it were an experiment and start treating it as if it were a construction project. Every action you take is a brick. Every habit is mortar. Every system is a blueprint. Without that blueprint, you may stack bricks for a lifetime and never build anything worth standing inside. Look to the greatest empires. Rome did not rise because of chance victories. It rose because of systems. Roads that connected provinces. Laws that enforced order. Armies that trained with precision. Markets that moved goods efficiently. Systems made the empire, and when those systems collapsed, the empire fell with them. Your life is no different. You are building an empire of one. Your mind is your senate. Your habits are your army. Your purpose is your law. And your systems, they are the roads that connect it all. Without them, the empire cannot stand. But here is the danger. Your mind will resist. It will tell you that systems are too much work, that you can figure it out as you go, that you'll start tomorrow. This is the voice of mediocrity. This is the whisper that has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Silence it with action. Do not wait for the perfect plan. Begin building the skeleton of your system today. Make it simple. Make it clear. Make it so obvious that you cannot mistake what needs to be done. Then, with each passing day, strengthen it. Add to it. Refine it. In time, your system will do something miraculous. It will start running on its own. You will no longer need to push as hard, because momentum will carry you. You will begin to live inside the architecture you built, and it will begin to shape you in return. This is when you will realize the deeper truth. Success is not a single mountain to climb. It is a machine you build to keep climbing forever. It is not just one goal achieved. It is a way of being that guarantees more victories, more growth, more wealth, more purpose. And here, in this space, you will find peace. Not because life is easier, it won't be, but because you will no longer fear the storms. You will know that your systems can handle them. You will no longer dread the unknown. You will know that whatever comes, you are prepared. Your systems will be your fortress, your engine, your compass. And while others drift in circles, you will move forward with the inevitability of the sunrise. So build them, guard them, trust them, And when the day comes, because it will, when life tests everything you have built, you will stand firm. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because your systems have made you unshakable. You will have mastered the art of living by design. And that is the rarest wealth of all. There will come a day when you look back at the life you are living right now, the chaos, the uncertainty, the wasted hours, the fragile motivation, and you will realize it was all just the foundation for something greater. You will remember the moment you decided to stop drifting and start building. The moment you replaced wishful thinking with unbreakable structure. And in that moment of reflection, you will see the truth that so few ever discover. Freedom is not the absence of discipline. Freedom is born from it. Real power is not in doing whatever you feel like. It is in creating a life so intentionally designed that success becomes inevitable. Every day will no longer be a battle to find your path. The path will be there, carved by your own hand, leading you forward no matter the weather. You will rise with purpose, move with certainty, and rest with peace. Not because life is easy, but because you have mastered the art of making it work for you. This is the secret. This is the work. This is how you set up systems to change your life. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the perfect time. The time is now. The decision is yours. Build the system. Live the system. Become the system. And then, watch the life you have always imagined take shape, not in dreams, but in reality. And when you commit to this way of living, something extraordinary happens. The chaos of life does not disappear, but it can no longer touch you the same way. The storms still come, but they break against the walls you have built. The noise of the world still surrounds you, but it cannot drown out your purpose. Every challenge becomes part of your design. Every setback is absorbed into the system, analyzed, learned from, and turned into fuel. You stop fearing failure because your structure does not collapse when something goes wrong. It adapts, adjusts, and keeps moving forward. This is the difference between those who win once and those who win forever. The one-time winner rides a wave of luck, opportunity, or raw willpower until it fades. The lifelong winner builds a tide that never stops rising, powered by systems that no single storm can destroy. Napoleon Hill understood this truth. He saw that the fortunes of the most successful men were not held together by talent alone, but by carefully crafted disciplines that they lived by every single day. They designed their lives as a craftsman designs a masterpiece, every detail intentional, every choice purposeful, every action tied to the bigger vision. And that is what you must do. You must become the architect of your own existence. You must lay out the blueprint in your mind so clearly that there is no confusion about what you are building. Then, piece by piece, you turn it into reality, until you are no longer chasing your dream, but living inside of it. The world will not hand you this life. No one will knock on your door and offer it to you. You must take the raw materials you have, your time, your habits, your energy, and shape them with precision. And once the shape is set, you must protect it fiercely, because there will be those who try to break it, to pull you back into their chaos. They will not understand why you rise earlier, why you guard your time, why you refuse to waste your energy on things that do not matter. They will call it obsession. But obsession is only a sin if it is aimed at the wrong target. When your obsession is the life you were meant to live, it is not a flaw, it is a force. They will not understand why you rise earlier, why you guard your time, why you refuse to waste your energy on things that do not matter. They will call it obsession. But obsession is only a sin if it is aimed at the wrong target. When your obsession is the life you were meant to live, It is not a flaw, it is a force. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Because while they speak, you will build. While they hesitate, you will execute. And while they wait for life to change, you will be out there changing it, brick by brick, habit by habit, day after day. And when the results come, and they will come, you will not be surprised. Because you will know that nothing about it was magic, nothing about it was luck. It was the inevitable product of the systems you built and lived by. And in that moment, you will finally understand what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right, because you will have lived it." And when you finally reach that place where others clap for you, do not let it corrupt you. Because applause is a dangerous drug. It tricks the mind into thinking the work is finished. But the truth, the work is never finished. The real masters know that success is not a mountain peak you stand upon. It's a range of mountains, each higher than the last. So when you conquer one, you must already be preparing for the next. You must guard your hunger like a sacred flame. The day you lose hunger, you lose momentum. The day you lose momentum, you begin the slow death of mediocrity. And do not be fooled. Mediocrity does not kill quickly, it rots you slowly. It whispers that you've done enough, that you've earned the right to relax, that the fight is over. But the fight is never over. The greatest danger to a warrior is not defeat, but comfort. Stay uncomfortable. Stay alert. Stay in motion. Because the minute you stop, life will overtake you. Somewhere, someone hungrier than you is sharpening their sword. And when they arrive, it will not matter what you accomplished last year, only what you are capable of today. That is why the elite never stop sharpening themselves. They know life is not a stage where you perform once and leave. It is a constant test, a fire that burns away the weak and tempers the strong. If you want to remain in the top 3%, you must live in that fire willingly. And when your last day comes, when you take your final breath, let it be said of you, "They lived wide awake." They refused to be ordinary. They fought until the final moment, and they left this world empty, because they gave it everything. That is the highest form of wealth. Not the money, not the trophies, but the unshakable peace of knowing you never betrayed the potential you were born with. Now rise. Step into the arena with unshakable conviction. Speak less, move more, and let your results be the thunder that shakes the earth. Do not wait for perfect timing. It will never come. Do not wait for permission. You already have it. Do not wait for guarantees. There are none. Move now, because the 97% are still waiting. And you are not one of them.